Okay.
wardrobes.
I think we might. Are we going to get the greatest? We're about to find out. Not even close.
Damn.
Come around and talk it over. Can't speak
That guy can't speak English, the singer of the outfield?
Yeah, I think. I
What?
saw them live and said they couldn't speak English.
There's so many I don't want to say.
Hi, buddy.
Did you just save and end that whole recording and you're going to send me 2 recordings?
Yeah, is that cool?
That's fine. I just didn't know, so I'm going to save this old one real quick.
Yo, just sit down here, buddy. You're doing so good. All right. He's ready. Sit. Oh, he's going to be a dick. Okay. That's okay.
When I was recording How Do You Know? And there was a moment in the second one where I was like, God, what is going on? And Lucas is like, I did like my noise reduction and noise gate and click removal, and there was still so much background noise. And I was like, I don't know what's going on. So as I was going through it, I finally get to a point where you're like, Jinjo's being so loud right now. And then everything else after that was Jinjo's mayhem. I was like, oh.
He's bad. Look at
He's
those
a bad
eyes.
boy.
Those are evil eyes.
Evil Eyes is what you've been doing into the video.
Those are comforting eyes.
No.
Okay.
You ready?
We can do it. I'll try.
All right. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, play. Movie holiday.
Holiday.
Holiday
Holiday.
movie. What did I watch this on? It's free on Paramount Plus, I think, is where.
I think I watched it on archive.org.
Oh,
And
sounds.
a couple different installments during my prep this week.
Oh, .org. It's an official site. This isn't one of those sketchy sites.
I mean, it's. I don't know if what they do is entirely legal, but it's been around for a long time.
But it's
I've watched a bunch
that makes me think it's like a classy sitch.
They've had a bunch of legal battles of late. I don't know if they're legit or not.
Well, if you guys have
Paramount, they are, but
watch it on Paramount Plus.
Or archive.org.
Yeah. Well, the movie starts Princess Anne, Audrey Hepburn. She's a royal princess of an unspecified country. I think it was just America, but I'm not. Well, no, because America doesn't have princesses.
It was like a Princess Diaries thing. She was like the Princess of Malvonia or Delvenia or Symphosia.
Yeah, of an unspecified country and region. She's on a widely publicized tour of several European capitals.
Yeah, some made-up country. Yeah.
Including Rome. And she is stuck to start in this giant receiving line, shaking hands and greeting every high society member of Rome. And
she hates it.
Oh, she's so over it. You can tell she's not built for this princess life. She is over the mundane stuff. She wants to get out of her high heels. She's like stepping out and stretching her feet underneath her giant flowy ball gown.
Yeah, she's like she wears short skirts and I want to wear t-shirts.
She's cheer captain and
bleachers. Yeah.
She's cheer captain and I'm the Dark Lord Satan.
And I'm Seth.
And I'm Seth. You've never heard me sing that? Every time I sing that song, I always sing, she wears short skirts, I wear t-shirts, she's cheer captain, and I'm the Dark Lord Satan.
Oh. My bit is, I go, she wears short shirts, I wear t-shirts, she's cheer captain, and I'm wearing t-shirts.
Oh, she's just still wearing t-shirts.
T-shirts all the time. Yeah.
That's her, like, personality trait. She's got t-shirts.
Day, when you wake up with fun, wake up and see I'm wearing t-shirts the whole time.
I'm wearing t-shirts. Well, at one point, as she's stretching her feet, she loses her shoe. This is like This is a big
Uh-oh.
no-no. You cannot do this as a
Not
princess.
in Moldova.
But it's obviously like also a Cinderella like losing her glass slipper kind of thing in front of everybody. But eventually she gets it back,
Allegorical.
and now she's got to dance with each and every old man in the ballroom. So much fun.
They're like handsy with her and stuff. It's not great. Yeah.
I don't think they groped her or anything. At least that we
That's-
didn't see.
That's the implication.
Yeah.
They would. These stately, princely, dukely men of Europe.
Stately, princely, dukely.
Brandon. Yeah.
Stately, princely, dukely is just the new truly, madly, deeply.
Yeah.
That night, after all of this, she gets into bed and she rebels against strenuous demands of her official duties. Like the next day, every minute of her time is scheduled.
Yeah, she's got diplomatic shit to do. She's got to prevent World War III.
And she's just throwing a fit. She's not going to do it. She's not going to be able to sleep. She wants to basically just end her life. So the doctor comes in to give her a sedative in order to sleep.
Injection, not like a under the tongue thing.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, I'm going to give you an Ambien or a Xanax or something.
drink.
Yeah.
Like a monkey drink. Knocks her out. It's Chekhov's sedative, if you will.
It's 100% a Chekhov's sedative.
Yeah.
And the doctors give her a sedative. She pretends to get tired and fall asleep, but she secretly leaves her country's embassy by sneaking out the window and goes out alone to experience Rome because she kept seeing all this clamoring beneath her with music in the streets and people dancing and partying.
Culture, food,
culture, yeah,
and
croissants,
yeah. I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
I love elote.
Little street corn. She wants it.
She wants it bad. And so she hops into the back of like a delivery vehicle heading out of the embassy and it takes her out and is simply sitting in the back, just like sightseeing all the locals and the restaurants. And eventually she hops out when it stops to explore and passes by underneath a lit window. And so we zoom into the window and inside you find a
transition.
Oh yeah, great. Crew of men gambling, playing cards. And amongst these men is Joe Bradley in
he's adorable.
An American Reporter.
He's pretty adorable.
Mm-hmm.
In like a scoundrel type of way.
I don't even think he's really much of a scoundrel.
Heavy, and he's not. It's a lot of movie going on. A lot of like Ryan Gosling vibes I got from early Gregory Peck.
This is another Ryan Gosling,
like
Emma Stone.
A little bit, especially the ending. It's one of my prepared things about it. Yeah.
Oh, I know. Oh my God, that look. We're gonna get there. Oh, let's see. He's an American Reporter. He had something scheduled actually the next day as a reporter to meet the princess tomorrow. So he leaves the guys' night early as he's low on money after losing it all. And get a little bit of sleep, you know. Yeah, an assignment. And Princess Anne, she's roaming the streets, but that sedative's starting to take effect on her. Oh, he's trying to get you.
Yeah, she's getting droopy and drunk. She has to be wary of men like Seth.
You chase her for sure. Jinjo's feisty right now. Fucking get him. Get him, cat. Mongo. Oh. Mongo, what do you rate the Deer Hunter?
Mongo, Deer Hunter? He says it's his favorite movie of all time.
Wow, I'm glad I asked.
Because you knew that.
I did? I'm sorry, Mongo. I should have known.
Mongo, that's your number one?
Mongo, how do you feel about Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
He left. He hates it.
He left. He does not like that. Okay. So, yeah, this sedative is really starting to take effect.
The Deer Hunters.
And she falls asleep on a public bench where Joe ends up meeting her but does not recognize her as the princess.
But he's just like, this drunk girl, she could be in danger.
A good man,
I'll be a nice guy.
Yeah.
Take her home.
He offers her money so that she can take. Yeah, exactly. Traffic her. Yeah. Give her money to take a taxi. but she refuses to disclose where she's going or staying at, saying that she should be taken to the Coliseum.
She has to fight her. Yeah. So he's in a pickle,
So
Mr. Joe.
the Pickle Joe finally decides, for safety's sake, to take her back to his apartment.
Sleep it off.
Not for
As many
sexual
drug dealers want
purposes,
to
but
do.
for safety's sake.
No. He's
He
adamant he would
believes
never.
she is drunk as a skunk, needing help getting undressed, oogling over pajamas that he's giving her. She's reciting poetry. He's like, okay, you need to chill and just go. You quit saying poetry to me and sleep.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep. You crazy drunk party
He
girl.
is amused by her kind of regal manner of it all, but less so when he leaves to get some coffee and comes back and finds that she's stolen his bed to sleep in instead of the ergonomically shaped couch.
Yeah, there was a dog couch thing.
So he makes every effort to get her into that couch without touching her by making loud noises and eventually flipping her out of the bed. Yeah, he's not going to touch this woman.
Didn't he do this? We watched a movie where they flipped a girl out of the bed. Was this Billy Crystal one?
The Cat in the Hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. They do that in The Cat in the Hat, for sure.
I swear we've seen a rom-com where they flipped somebody out with the sheets like this. But anyways.
In the next day, the embassy finds, or maybe it was the middle of the night, I don't know. They find that the princess is gone. And so they go on a full top secret search. Nobody can know, the press can't know. And they also enact a plan to cancel all her daily meetings the next day because she's, in quotes, taken ill. That's their alibi.
She's sick, yeah.
And so the next morning, Joe Bradley wakes up late for his interview with the princess.
And he is livid.
And he's unable to rouse her or get her awake, so he just leaves this woman in his apartment and goes to work. And his editor, Mr. Hennessy, asks him, he's like, did you cover the press conference with the princess? Joe lies.
He's like, yes, of course.
Yeah, all these details of the alleged interview until Hennessy tells him, he's like, oh, yeah, and what did you think about her health? And he's like, oh, she's super healthy.
She's glowing, yeah.
He's like, no, she's fallen ill, and it had been canceled.
Gets him, caught him in a lie.
Classic game of cat and mouse.
Classic tail between the legs, Gregory Peck look. Ooh.
Classic two birds with one stone, Chekhov's gun kind of thing.
One in the hands, worth two in the bush, yeah.
Is that about George Bush?
No. It's about the band Bush.
Well, Joe ends up, during all this back and forth, seeing the picture of her that says Princess Taken Ill in the newspaper and recognizes her as the woman he had left sleeping in his apartment.
Oh, shit. That's drunk girl who won't leave you alone at the party. I know her.
So he realizes he's sitting on a gold mine. He can get an exclusive story about his unsuspecting guest if she doesn't know him to be a reporter, and he plays it off as not knowing she's a princess. He can get all of her plus pictures. And Hennessy then threatens to fire him, but the two men end up making a bet that Joe can get this exclusive on the princess. And so he gets back to his apartment to find her still asleep, but she's slowly coming to, thinking that she's talking to the doctor. And she rambles about what she thinks is a dream. She's like, oh, I was sleeping in the street and I met this.
Joe.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you nailed that. Wonderful young man. Tall. He was kind of mean, but he was tall and he was handsome. And everything about my night is fabulous.
And he would go on to defend a black man named Tom Robinson.
Yeah. She knew. She knew.
He was innocent.
And when she fully realizes, comes to that she's not talking to the doctor and that she's not in the embassy and she's just sitting in the room with a new man, she asks if she spent the night with him alone. He tells hesitantly that, yeah, they did spend the night together, but not by his choice. So she's like, okay.
Yeah. They didn't fool around.
And so she is delighted by the outcomes of her night, knowing that, she didn't do anything with this man. She didn't get into trouble. And introduces herself to him as Anya.
Anya Hepburn.
Anya Smith.
Anya Taylor Smith, I think it was.
And he draws her a bath. He leaves her to make a call to his photographer friend, another reporter, Irving Radovich.
Great old person name. This is the wonderful Oscar nominee, right?
Yeah, and he's going to help them get photos on a front page story he's working on. Secretly sneaking by with hidden fake cameras. And she's and everything. The housekeeper comes in on her, and they scream at each other. Oh man, he wants to get you.
Be nice.
Oh, Jinjo, be nice. Yeah, thumbs up. Why is he so mean?
Ow. He's okay.
So after she bathes, she gets dressed, all that. Her and Joe are finally going to part ways. He gives her a little bit of money to get back home. And not knowing where she is, she just kind of aimlessly wanders like, oh, quit showing me cat butthole. Quit showing cat butthole. No, quit showing cat dick. Lucas. I guess
he got his dick cut off when he had his surgery.
I guess second YouTube at 16:45 if you guys want to see that. She's just like very ditzy and aimlessly wandering around the bustling streets of Italy, of Rome, because unlike the nighttime where it was peaceful and easy to commute, there's people, there's cars, there's vendors. She's just like
cars, there's Vespas, there's pigeons, there's rodents of unusual sizes.
And so she wanders through the streets as he follows her from a comfortable distance as to not be spotted by her. At one point, she wanders into a salon after seeing a woman with a fresh haircut, and on a whim, she begs the barber to, quote, in quotes, cut it all off. Not even like a bob, like cut it off.
No. Like Sinead O'Connor, she says.
No, she did not say shave it like Sinead. Ooh, shave it like Sinead? That's good.
That'd be a good album. Yeah.
That would be a great album.
Shave it like Sinead, a punk album.
When I hear music, it makes me dance.
What's that? Why is
that? That's in Squabble Up. That's the sample from Kendrick's new album, Squabble Up.
That's not right. You're right.
But that song came on at work. That song came on at work the other day, and I had actually never heard the song before. So because of the success of GNX and that song, they're probably playing that old song again that he sampled. And I heard it, and I was like, "Hey, this is from Kendrick." And they were like, "Brandon, what are you talking about?" I was like, "Listen." I pull it up immediately.
That's the power of sampling in Black culture, Brandon.
Yeah.
That's why.
Swirls were mine.
Shave it like Sinead.
Shave it like Sinead. I like it. So yeah, cut it all off. And Joe's waiting outside of this salon, trying to steal a camera from a little schoolgirl on a field trip. And the barber inside, he wants to go on a date with her tonight.
Everybody does. She's Audrey Hepburn. But yeah.
This is Mario. He's inviting her to like some boat dance thing, and she kindly refuses.
Yeah.
Appreciative. And she continues.
You fucking bitch! Come down to the fucking show. Me and fucking
he was very nice about it too.
He wasn't like a classic Sicilian.
Yeah.
If he was in Sicily, oh my gosh. More like Seth Sicily.
Sethsily.
They're criminally horny down there.
She would have been Seth salted so fast.
Yeah, she would have settled.
Sexually Seth salted.
He's gonna love hearing this episode.
He's not gonna listen to it.
Sure. One day.
Maybe. One day. Seth, if you're listening, tune into the YouTube.
I can see Stephanie's like 70 years old, dying of liver neurosis, and he's just neuroses of the liver. His liver is feeling neurotic,
Yeah. So I was gonna
and
ask.
he's just listening to every single bit of data and detail of his life before he perishes.
But this isn't about his life. Even if his name is said,
He's of course he's in.
this is a very advanced technology.
Well, it's 50 years in the future.
You're right.
45
Well,
years in the future.
She ends up leaving the barbers and she
AI.
continues to wander, living her life in the town square. She's eating gelato, she's getting flowers. When Joe finally pretends to bump into her, and she confesses that she ran away from school the previous night and justified her actions by saying that the teacher gave her a sleeping aid. Just a small fabricated story.
The details are true, but the premise is false.
Correct. And instead of going back to school, Joe offers to show Rome to Anya, all as a mask for his attempt at his big story and to get her to open up. And so their first step is to eat at a sidewalk cafe. And they kind of play a game of cat and mouse as they pretend to be someone they're not.
Which he's always been. This is the whole premise.
Correct. But it gets more difficult, at least for the sake of both of them, when Irving comes, who is part of the plan to take pictures, but he is not briefed about either of their secret identities. So he sits down, immediately almost spills the tea about Joe.
Hey, Joe! Yeah.
And her strikingly similar appearance to the princess. But Joe just keeps like shoving him and like throwing drinks on him and until he can finally pull him aside and let him in on the deal.
Motherfucker, I'm trying to bed this hoe. What he said in the film.
I don't think he said that. No. I'm trying to bed this hoe.
I'm trying to bed this wench.
And so after this little cafe thing, they embark on a Vespa ride through Rome. They see the classic tourist attractions, and Irving tries to inconspicuously take photos of him. Not only does he have the little lighter that is a camera, but he's also like driving in the car like in front of them, and Joe will be like, "Look over there, Audrey," and as she looks away, he's like, while driving, trying to snap a picture of her.
Big ass camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like an iPhone. He didn't have an iPhone. He had a Samsung.
That's funny. He had one of those things you have to set up and you have like a curtain you have to get into.
Yeah.
Yeah. Change the metal plates out.
And she ends up trying to drive the Vespa herself at one point. Takes it on a reckless joyride, through the city in one of the films.
Wreck ride.
Yeah, a joyless wreck ride. A reckless joyride through the city is one of the film's comedic sequences. They get arrested, but end up talking their way out of it, lying, saying that they were on the way to the church to get married, and that they are with the American News Service.
Two different lies. But yeah, they could have just easily be like, I'm just fucking the fucking princess, but they want to keep this game here going, this holiday away from their normal lives, so to speak, Brandon.
Correct.
Because they hate their everyday people personas.
And she's also like very shocked at how good he was at lying to them. She's like, married.
And there is just the smallest hint of this creepy, unnerving undertone to this whole section.
No, there's not. This isn't.
You really feel the penetrating doom.
This isn't Set It Up. You're thinking of a different film.
The setting. You're right. I might be thinking of Set It Up.
And then they go to see another site, the Mouth of Truth. It's a carving in marble.
Is this real?
I guess so. It's a marble image said to bite off the hands of liars. So you stick your hand in it and you say a truth, and then your hand might get bitten off.
And a liar. Yeah.
Both being liars, they're scared to do it and put their hand in the mouth.
He goes first, right? And
no, I think she did. She goes first, and then he goes, and he plays a prank on her.
Yeah. He was pretty good.
She's freaking out. He's freaking out.
Oh, no.
But in all honesty, all of these things, even though it's for a job for Joe, has been real for her.
And it feels pleasurable for them both. They're having a good time.
Like Trojan condoms, ribbed for each of your pleasure.
That's correct.
This episode is brought to you by Trojan condoms, ribbed for her pleasure.
And yours too.
Yeah, and my pleasure too. We can please each
And
other.
Brandon's too. Yeah.
Ribbed for hers and Brandon's pleasure.
And Brandon's pleasures.
And they then visit a wall of plaques where you make a wish and then you put up a plaque if it comes true. She shares with Joe her dream of living a normal life without her crushing responsibilities and restrictions. And she would like that if she could live a normal life once, she would put a plaque up on the wall.
Here's to normalcy, she says.
Yeah, I mean,
that
an almost
strange feeling of nothingness.
An almost unachievable goal in her life with
For her, yes.
her, unless she's Meghan Markle and Prince Harry and they withdraw from the royal family.
They abscond.
But that night, at a dance on a boat, government finally track her down and try to escort her away. This is actually the boat that Mario invited her to. This is the little boat dance. Her barber.
The boat dance part.
He's there. He dances with the princess. She's dancing with like all these different men, and she's just having a fun time.
Dancing guy. Yeah.
Yeah. She dances with Joe. Irving shows up, but yeah, the feds are there. She's screaming out for Joe as she's being escorted away, and now like a full-on melee breaks out with Joe and Irving and Mario, and even Princess, or AKA Anya, beating up the feds. Frickin' Irving got a photo of her smashing a guitar over a federal agent's head.
Yeah, kapow!
Irving was like, "Do it again, do it again."
I want a better angle, yeah.
And through all this commotion, it gives them enough time for Joe and Anya to escape by jumping in the water and swimming through the bay to shore to safety.
Couldn't do that today with the pollution. Probably. It might not be polluted.
The Mediterranean's got to be cleaner than our water.
Now.
And now, yeah, for sure. 72 years, way cleaner.
Yeah, now it's filled with duck shit and people shit.
There's too many ducks in the world. And too many ducks and donkeys in the world.
They're shitting in the Mediterranean, yeah.
That's the only place they're allowed to go.
In Greece, you would think.
Yeah. Well, once upon shore, they're like shivering. They huddle close to each other to share warmth, and amidst that huddle, they share a passionate first kiss.
Yeah, they make out on the beach there.
I don't think they make out. It was
they French.
No, I don't even think it was just a good passionate.
They heavy petted.
They were heavy petting each other's nether regions. Yeah,
that's right.
I love some over the pants heavy petting in a movie.
And then nether regions. Yeah.
Yeah. And so then they head back to his place where she's wearing his clothes and she asks to cook for him. Like she's really imagining herself in the world as a
be domestic. Yeah.
Yeah, which might be frowned upon a little bit today, but at the time.
But I mean, like also just like the opposite of royalty. Yeah.
Correct. A standard like American or even European housewife.
A layman.
He doesn't have a kitchen, but it's something that she's learned. She's learned to cook out her whole life, but she's never had the opportunity to do. It's basically her telling her own life story. I've never had the opportunity to do.
It's basically High School Musical, and she's finally getting to do the play she's never always wanted to do instead of.
It's basically Heisenberg.
High School Musical. It's a little Heisenbergian. I think it's High School Musical.
It is, and through this day of deceit and adventure, they gradually end up falling in love. However, Anya realizes that as much fun as she's had, even if it was real to her, it cannot be because she is the princess of Dalvonia. Delvonia.
Eglintica.
So she has him drive her back near the embassy, not to the embassy, but near it, and makes him drop her off a distance away and begs him not to watch her walk away. She finally bids farewell to Joe in the car.
She doesn't want because she doesn't want to seem lame in front of her friends when she goes to school.
Yeah.
Yeah, drop me off.
Hey, Joe, can you play some Fetty Wap as you drop me off? I want you to be mine again, baby. I've been sending you so many Fetty Wap.
I love them all.
Oh man, they're great. And she bids farewell in his arms, collapsing into his arms with tears and kisses, without revealing her true identity. And she escapes back into the embassy, and there she holds steadfast as not to reveal where she has been or what she has done, but does reaffirm that she came back because she is living up to her duties. I don't care what you guys all want. I'm here. I'll do the duties. I do care, but let me be me.
Genovia. That's what the Princess Diaries one is called.
Yeah. I knew that one.
Slytherin.
Yeah, the Duke of Slytherin.
That's what the country was. Yeah.
And during the course of the next day, Joe goes, or he's going to be going to work. Hennessy learns that the princess is missing and not ill as the embassy had claimed. Hi, Jinjo. And he suspects that Joe knows where she is because he wanted this exclusive deal. And he comes to Joe's house and tries to get him to admit it, but Joe claims to know nothing about it. And as they're arguing back and forth, Irving barges in on Joe and Mr. Hennedy, ready to show off the pictures that he's developed.
The photos.
But
got you guys gallivanting around town.
Just like at the street side cafe, Joe pulls the same little tricks in order to get Irving to stop and save himself. He's shoving him and throwing coffee on him and all that kind of stuff.
It was Chekhov's roughhousing.
And Mr. Hennessy ends up leaving, not getting the answers he wants. And Irving and Joe, they look at the photos together, recollecting on the adventures and the fun day they had. And he just gets to see how happy the princess was in each of the photos.
Happy he was. Yeah.
And then knowing that Joe's has feelings for Anya, he reluctantly decides not to sell these photos, even for that huge, gigantic payday that he would have gotten.
Yeah, he values the love more.
So nearing the end of the film, the next day, Princess Anne appears at a delayed news conference, only to see Joe and Irving right in the front row amongst the members of the press.
They still gotta do the jobs, yeah.
She realizes that this whole last day was a foiled attempt to get information from her rather than this joyous adventure that she got to be on.
This yeah, it was set up almost. That's where the dark, deep, seedy underfeeling kind of seeps through the movie.
Yeah, they set it up. Oh my goodness.
That's right.
But
they set it up.
Joe ends up asking questions and she responds. And Joe lets her know by illusion that her secret is safe with them. She, in turn, works into her normal, it's a written script, her bland press conference statements, a coded message of love and gratitude to Joe. Like the king and queen are like, what the fuck is she saying? This was not approved.
She's talking. Yeah.
But I mean, it doesn't feel overly out of the ordinary unless you've written and read the scripts over and over. But there's small little coded things in there. And they let all the press members come up and take photos of the princess. And Irving runs right up and just pulls out a little lighter and snaps a photo. And she's like, oh my goodness.
It was you all along. She
and
falls
so,
in love with Irving.
Out of the ordinary press conference, no, she doesn't fall in love with Irving. What a twist.
That'd be great. They make
That
out.
was the
French.
ordinary press conference. She wishes to do a meet and greet with the press as well in one last attempt to see Joe.
Hold on
And
to Joe. Yeah.
shakes the hands, working her way down the line. As she passes, Irving presents her with a folder of the photographs he had taken that day or the previous day as a memento of her adventures. And then
His
she
scrapbook.
shakes Joe's hand and says a kind word to him and then goes back up to the altar, hesitating, and she just looks at him and gently smiles, choking
Emma
back,
Stone smile.
choking back everything. Her look says
La La
1,000
Land.
words. I got
It's La
goosebumps.
La Land.
It's La La Land. Oh,
It is. It's the same feeling, and that's the movie.
and she then departs. She walks off, leaving Joe to just linger in this
In
embassy
this
hall,
jazz club.
contemplating what might have been, and then he just walks out, and that's the end of Roman Holiday
In his jazz club.
in his jazz club. Oh fuck, God, La La Land's so good.
It's in conversation with this movie,
No,
I think.
100%.
And other Hollywood musicals as well. But this is one of the greats, and it will be.
Did I lose you there, or did you?
Wait, it's time for some quarters, Brandon. After the end of the movies, we have to do quarters.
No, I just pause again. You're like, what? Yeah, it's chorus time. You little ruse. You set that whole fake pause up, and it was a real pause.
It was a real pause.
I'm a real pause.
The mountains. That's pretty good. The mountains are blue for these quarters. Quarters Light.
Have you listened to From Justin to Kelly yet?
Did Devin do that?
Devin found there's a cooler next to his desk that he hasn't opened in months, and he opened it and he found a random Coors just sitting in like warm water in there.
Coors. That's funny.
And he's like, I'm gonna save this for like a really bad day. And then he was like, I might drink it now. I was like, Devin, go put it in the fridge and turn those mountains blue. He's like, that's not true. And I was like, no, they really do turn blue. He didn't know that.
That's wild.
Because apparently he's been only drinking warm, cooler Coors.
That is gross. What's the point of even having them in a cooler, Devin? But we have some quotes. We took some quotes, both of us.
Did you actually?
I did, and I'm withholding them in protest.
You didn't take
until Michael Phelps's brief suspension from the Olympic Committee for smoking weed is rescinded.
Okay.
He was of course reinstated, but I need that suspension itself to be rescinded.
So that he can swim for 14 more days.
Yeah, in the past. They took his prime away from him.
I have 11 quotes.
That's a body 11.
And I was thinking that it might not be as much because it's an old-timey film and I wasn't going to get references, or maybe it wouldn't be as heavy on a screenplay or anything like that. I found it brisk. The pace was great. It was like an hour 50, but it flew by.
They were great. It was energetic. Yeah.
Let's see. My first one, Princess Anne. When she is at his place, she wakes up and she goes, 1:30? I must get dressed and go. And Joe's like, why? What's your hurry? There's lots of time. She's like, no, there isn't. I've been quite through enough trouble to you as it is. And he goes, trouble? You're not what I'd call trouble.
Oh. You're a disaster, baby. That's what he says.
When she played an amazing, like, high on sedatives, like drunk character.
She's had a little bit in her real life, yeah.
They're in the cabin. He goes, now come on, you're not that drunk. And she's just laughing. She goes, if you're so smart, I'm not drunk at all. I'm just being. And then her head falls against his chest. She goes, very happy.
She's being gay, as the taglines were saying.
Oh man, this quote is so subliminally sexual. It's crazy. The tension's perfect. They come back after they've shared their first kiss and they're in his apartment. She wants to cook for him and everything. And he goes, you know, you should always wear my clothes. And she just goes, well, it seems that I do.
Hmm. In a sex way.
In a sex way. Man, that's a good, simple,
Steamy.
but sexual tension quote.
Show don't tell.
A drunken quote again. Where do you live? And she just like mumbles, "Good Coliseum." And he turns to Jack driver. He's like, she lives in the Coliseum. Cab drivers, it's the wrong address. It's wrong.
That's not right. That's not right.
He knows.
There's probably an office there.
He's tired of the bullshit. It's late at night. He wants to go home. Don't do that face. It reminds me of the smiling face of Jack Nicholson when he freezes in the maze in The Shining. He's just sitting out there like,
A little bit. He's really happy.
yeah, are you happy? Oh man, I had to take this quote because this is when he surprises her and she's roaming around. She's getting nice. She's roaming around. She's getting gelato and flowers, and he sees her in the Times Square. How do you do that? I used to be able to do that. There we go. Yeah. He sees her in the town square, and she says all the things that she wants to do, and he says, tell you what, why don't we do all those things together? And she goes, but don't you have work? And he goes, work? No. Today's going to be a holiday. And I was like, oh!
It's in Rome. Yeah, he said it.
He said it for sure. My long quote towards the beginning of the movie, Princess Anne, I think, is talking to her mother. She goes, I hate this nightgown. I hate all my nightgowns. I hate all my underwear too. And the countess just goes, my dear, you have lovely things. She says, but I'm not 200 years old. Why can't I sleep in pajamas? Or just the top part. Did you know there are people who sleep with absolutely nothing on at all? And the count goes, I rejoice to say that I do not.
200 years old. That was good.
Yeah. I like that you want to sleep in pajamas and just the top part.
She wants to be Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, exactly. Donald Ducking it out there.
What a transgressive
icon. Let's see. When she wakes up the next morning in Joe's place, she goes, oh, no. This is when he gives her pajamas to sleep in. She's trying to get changed. She goes, I've never been alone with a man before, even with my dress on. With my dress off, it's most unusual.
She's a virgin.
A Virgo, yeah. She is a Virgo.
A Virgo.
When they finally first get to his apartment, she comes into his apartment, into his room. She goes, is this the elevator? And he goes, no, this is my room.
That was good. That is good.
She's never seen something so small. Except it was great. It had that nice balcony.
Some nice art.
Yeah. When he calls Irving when she's still in his room and he's trying to get him to take pictures, he's like, no, I'm busy. I've got other things to do. I've got this date with this girl. And he goes, Joe's like, I've got the princess. She's a grand girl, Irving. A grand girl. $5 grand, Irving. He's like, oh.
It was grand.
Oh my God, this quote's so beautiful. When they're saying goodbye that night, and she tells him not to watch where she walks to, they're in the car, and she just goes, I don't know how to say goodbye to you. I can't think of any words. And Joe just says, don't try, and they hug. I'm like, oh. Don't say goodbye.
I don't know how to quit you.
And then my last quote, right at the end of the film, one of the reporters asks, which of the cities visited did your highness enjoy the most? And she's got her normal prompt. The general prov note is prompting her. He goes, each in its own way. And so she goes, each in its own way was unforgettable. It would be difficult to Rome. By all means, Rome. I will cherish my visit here in memory as long as I live.
Yeah, no.
The general and the countess were like, "What the?
No, not a very diplomatic answer.
This is scripted, but she's talking to Joe."
I guess the one I did have was "I'm a bed that hoe."
No.
Was from Joe. Yeah.
From Joe to Irving. I'm a bed that hoe. You know how much I think about our writer's block where we did the Little Mermaid and we wrote our raps, and we did our 2 songs like Under the Sea and and Part of That World, but then you just made up a random one, Mute Bitch.
With Offset.
Yeah, you did it.
Go check out.
You did a Mute Bitch Migos style Offset rap. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, about my bitch can't talk.
Triple
Check out that episode. That was episode 3 of our entire podcast ever.
No, but it was in like probably like March of 2022. It was probably like 3 years ago.
Damn. And Hollywood still hasn't come knocking.
God, some of those are good. Like if Hollywood just listened to our fucking podcast, maybe if Hollywood just listened to our writers' blocks, they have some.
Yeah, maybe not the main feed. They could probably skip those. Hollywood. Yeah.
They need to listen to Paradise
Unless you want critiques on how their movies can be better, though.
Yeah, true. Okay, that's gonna end quotes. Let's do ratings. This is a classic. It's timeless.
I'm up 3-1.
You're up 3-1. We're gonna do thermometer. The critics.
80, 92.
You win.
Range there.
It's a 96.
That's right. I was close. I would have not got it. I said 87.
And sometimes I think about Rotten Tomatoes 86. With the critic scores, and I'm trying to think like what 4 out of 100 critics or like 1 out of 25 was like, no, this is not good. Like not even like it's good. Like a 6 or a 7 out of 10. They're saying below par. What?
Maybe Big Rock. We'll never know.
We'll never know. What about the people's weed though? The popcorn mitter.
I'll go 90.
Yeah, it's a 93. Range. Yeah.
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 I don't think he can win. Oh.
Yeah, you're up 5-1 unless he gets these next 2 right on his run.
Dead on. Yeah.
What do you think Metascore gave this out of 100?
A 87.
Oh, Seth wins.
No.
And he got it right. It's a 78.
Oh, he got it dead on?
Yeah, he got it dead on. So you're up 5-3.
Wow.
And then IMDb score, the audience score out of 10.
7.9.
Yeah, 8.0. You're so close.
I beat Seth though.
A 6-3
Did he guess
win.
8.0?
No, he guessed 1.9.
Oh, dumbass.
Yeah.
He doesn't know the people at all.
Critics gave it a 78 and a 96 for an 87 average, and the audience gave it an 80 and a 93 for an 87 average. What are you giving Roman Holiday?
I loved it. I'm an appreciator of old-timey movies, and Hepburn was pretty incredible and charming and wins you over. And it was pretty fresh and impeccably directed. It was a great movie. I'll go with a 9.0.
Nice.
Flat on the lasagna scale for Roman Holiday. Good recommendation from your roommate Sydney /Seth/Hunter.
I think it was me that picked it, but then I wanted Sydney on because she's a big Audrey Hepburn. I was torn. I was for sure above a 7.3, which Seth would probably have given this, and I was kept trying to think of where I was going to put it, and then the end won me over, and it bumped it all the way up for me to a 9.0.
Oh, identical. No way. Was that
Scores.
predetermined?
It was predetermined. No, wait, no.
Wow.
We didn't predetermine our scores. My 9.0 was not swayed by your score.
Influenced by 9.0.
Yeah.
Do your calculations. What's the average between ours?
8 billion?
I think that's right with the inflation.
Yeah, because the ratings get inflated too with the cost of the dollar.
1953.
So. Yeah, I think it's 8 billion. So, one of our highest
rated movie yet.
And
one of them, you're right.
That 8.0 on the IMDb list for us comes in at the 14th best film we've ever done.
That sounds appropriate. That sounds about in line.
Films just worse than this include Love on a Leash, A Christmas Story,
Weird.
Little Miss Sunshine, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Home Alone, When Harry Met Sally, My Dinner with Andre, and The Florida.
Yeah, love it. They're the best movie of all time. Yeah.
Films just better than this include Annie Hall, one of our rom-com masterpieces, The Princess Bride, which could have been a rom-com masterpiece, but we put it in an Andre month.
Yeah.
Groundhog Day, one of our rom-com masterpieces.
I hate it now.
I'm sorry, Lucas, but you loved it then.
I did like it then. I loved it then. Oh yeah.
The Iron Giant, The Exorcist, and Ratatouille.
What's the #1 movie we've ever done?
Spirited Away.
Fuck.
The top, let's see, because there's only 7 above Ratatouille. Number 7 is A Brighter Summer Day. Number 6 is 2001: A Space Odyssey. Number 5 is The Shining. Number 4 is WALL-E. Number 3 is Alien. Number 2 is It's a Wonderful Life. And number 1 is Spirited Away.
Some old shit.
And the second oldest for us. So 9.0s across the board. Let's hear our reviews and finish it off. 3 critics.
Big Rog?
No Big Rog. I couldn't find it.
You'd have been a child, I think.
First up is by Milton Lubin.
Old-timey ass name.
From the Hollywood Reporter, he said, the movie proves a charming, laugh-provoking affair that often explodes into hilarity. It has a delightful screenplay that sparkles with wit and outrageous humor that at times comes close to slapstick.
3 bags of popcorn.
Sure. Whatever they gave ratings in the 50s. Peter Bradshaw at The Guardian says, a modern fairy tale whose 2 leads have a charm and innocence that irradiate the whole movie. 5 out of 5 stars.
Yes.
And last, from Empire Magazine, David Parkinson.
Ooh, wonder what he died of.
He says, a timeless, exuberant classic with Hepburn's naive sense of fun and perfectly charming performance, matched equally by Peck's louche and charismatic worldly American. 4 out of 5 stars.
That was a bit louche. Yeah.
Is that how you say that? Louche? What does that word even mean?
I don't know.
I'm going to look it up.
I think it means Laotian. A good word, louche.
Laissez-faire? What is louche?
That's what louche means.
It's louche, and it means disreputable or sordid in a rankish or unappealing way.
Quite sordid and rankish. Yeah, he was a little bit rankish.
Oh, look at this. We got Louis groomed the other day, and when I was checking out at the stand at PetSmart, they were like, is this really your dog's breed? And she showed me. I was like, he's kind of a mutt of everything. We don't know what he is, but the breed that they listed, holy shit, it looks just like him. A Portuguese Pondango? Tell me that isn't Louis.
It does look a lot like Louis.
That's Lou.
If Louis had a full jaw. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So, 3 critics, all happy about it. How about some users?
Is the autistic girl here?
Yes. And man, I really tried to
I bet
find
she loved it.
some short ones. They're all, except for one, they're all somewhat long, but none of them are like really long. So
Okay. But she's known for it, so let's get
she's
past the
known for it. Hers is the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hers is the longest, but not by much. FYI, going into next week for Scooby Doo, guys, next week we're doing Scooby Doo. There were so many reviews. Like I got rid of Songbird and Snoopy Style and Cost Mask and all these to do only 10-star and 1-star reviews because my God, the 10s and 1s were absurd.
divisive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's okay. I love it.
So
Good
my first one,
editorial decision.
Songbird, she says, I don't know where to begin with praising Roman Holiday. It is a very charming story. It is well paced and never loses momentum, and also has endearing action. The settings are absolutely exquisite, with Rome the epitome of post-war chic. Equally, the cinematography and costumes are just as lavish. A beautiful, gentle score. I only have one word for William Wyler's direction: immaculate. Roman Holiday has a perfect balance of humor and grace, with dialogue that sparkles like bubbles on top of a champagne glass. Audrey Hepburn epitomizes beauty, style, and grace as Princess Anne. Her final moments are so moving, while Gregory Peck is also marvelous. Overall, sublime, and a film to really treasure. 10 out of 10.
She's in her bag there, trying a little imagery, like champagne bubbles.
Yeah, she was feeling herself.
She was a little bit rankish there.
She's probably wearing a crown, pretending to be Princess Anne at that moment.
Probably that's she's want to do.
Running from Seth.
Eating girl dinner. Yeah, running from Seth.
Eating girl dinner. Next up is Snoopy Style. He says, Audrey is utterly adorable, and Gregory Peck is a real charmer. Together they make a perfect movie couple. It's not all light and fluffy like the shoe incident. Her breakdown is quite shocking. Hepburn really delivers the comedy, and Peck is so charming that we don't mind about his ulterior motive. They are great separately and even better together. 8 out of 10.
B minus.
B minus. And I do think I did kind of like that, where you're not supposed to like Gregory Peck because he does have that ulterior motive throughout the whole
You're
thing.
supposed to be louche,
It's
but you can't help it.
exactly. It's not like the two star-crossed lovers, the meet cute. It's him having and planning all this just for his own
He's a
sake.
ragamuffin.
But then it ends up when he throws it all aside, you're like, yes!
Even better, even more redeeming. Yeah.
And also, this
That
is
extra
Audrey
payoff.
Hepburn's first major role. Come on.
Yeah, that is pretty.
That's so
absurd.
good.
The talent.
Next up is by returner Prismark 10.
This guy's a dumbass.
And he says, Roman Holiday is in essence a fairy tale. The kernel of the story has been reused many times, but I found Roman Holiday to be charming and overrated. Director William Wyler is uncomfortable with romantic comedy, so he makes it into a travelogue. The ending was a disappointment and dragged out. 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I told you he's a dumbass.
6 out of 10. Still
a cost mess in here.
Still positive, but
like this. Overrated, he said.
Next is by Lee Eisenberg,
writer of Parks and Rec.
He says, okay, so Roman Holiday is basically a fairy tale, but Audrey Hepburn and Gregory Peck do such a great job with the roles that you can't not like the movie. If this movie is a fairy tale, then it's a very watchable one. If nothing else, we get to see the Eternal City in all its beauty. Roman Holiday is a beautiful movie, just like Audrey Hepburn was a beautiful woman. This is what classics are all about. 10 out of 10. He is horny. What the hell?
Our dumbass reviewers are fixated on, our dumbass reviewers are fixated on fairy tales too.
Yeah,
we love it. It's
like
fairy tale.
Is it?
I didn't get gigantic fairy tale vibes.
And even if it is a fairy tale, are we not supposed to like fairy tales? You can make fairy tales into movies.
This is a rom-com. Yeah. And that's fine too.
All right, I think that's the end of my returners. We got 3 newcomers to end it. We've got Edouard Green, and they say
a newbie.
This is so bad. Roman holiday, more like Roman boredom. While I know that I'm in the minority here, I found this
That's a good
1953 film to be utterly boring. Audrey Hepburn won an undeserved Oscar here for her role as a bored princess who runs away to find love with a newspaper reporter. Roman Holiday had magnificent cinematography, and that was about it. To me, Hepburn was often childish in the film, and that scene in the cave was just a little too much for me. Roman Holiday should have been in color. This really would have uplifted the great cinematography. 4 out of 10.
Yeah, that is dumb. We're more like Roman boredom. Didn't really work that hard for them.
It's not like a
Yeah.
pun or anything. Roman Holiday, more like Roman
Yeah.
boredom. Also, when were they in a cave together?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember that.
Maybe that's the Hands of Truth moment. Remember in How Do You Know?
Maybe. That's
Remember in
close.
How Do You Know when the unique particle was like, "Oh, I love James L. Brooks for directing Definitely Maybe," in that scene where Paul Rudd fell down the stairs. Like, this is
He
mostly
didn't direct
lies.
that. He didn't direct that. Yeah. I think
Uh,
that maybe been the cave, yeah.
I do think this could have been beautiful in color to see all of it, but I don't think I cared.
It's charming, old-timey way, yeah.
Yeah. Penultimate is Roman Zero. Roman.
Ooh, ooh. The child. This film is my father.
He says, "Dear Audrey, I'm so
Oh no.
excited now. My son was just born on 5/11, and he's so dot 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 good looking. I love him so much. He has his mother's eyes and his father's nose and hair. I want to name him after my American mother, Henrietta, and that's Henry. I'm also thinking about Joe after Joe Bradley. He must be very smart since he successfully chose the strong points of both of us. And now I kept saying so excited to myself, and I think that's how you felt in your Roman holiday. So you must understand how I feel about my son. Yours wrong, codename Roman. 10 out of 10.
What a fucking weirdo. That is a good review. You're right. That's good criticism.
It wasn't even like a love letter to Audrey Hepburn. It was just he wrote an IMDb review to Audrey Hepburn, who's dead, thinking that she was going to read it
About
about his son
his
being
son.
born.
His newborn son. It's
And
sweet
how
in a way.
he was so excited that his son was born. He's like, I have to write a review about Audrey Hepburn
It
because she
might
was
be
probably
sweet.
so excited in this.
You might name it Joe too.
Maybe. What a crazy review. Also, yours wrong, codenamed Roman. His name is wrong.
Yeah. Yours wrong. I don't know.
And my last one
Love it.
is by IMDb 25288.
Hey.
And he says, she cut her hair and her mile-long schnoz tanked this movie faster than the Titanic. 2 out of 10.
Yeah. That's also a good review.
The man's
A
shallow.
mile schnoz.
He liked her
Tanked
long
it.
hair. He does not like a short haircut. So,
For the schnoz.
or the schnoz. That's going to end Roman Holiday this week and this month with the Love Lads. Aww.
Oh.
Are you recommending Roman Holiday?
Yeah, I think so. It seems to be a staple classic. We love it, love it, love it. Both the leads. How about you, my friend?
100% recommending. Even if you're like, oh, I don't like old movies or I don't like black and white, shut the fuck up. Watch this movie. It's great.
Your bitch ass up.
Shut your
You're a
bitch.
bitch sandwich, bitch.
Yeah. I mean, your schnoz and
Yeah, bitch.
so.
So we're doing Scooby-Doo next.
Yeah, we're doing Scooby Doo next. I mean, it's March, which means it's Manic March.
Yeah, of course. So we got Andre, we got basketball, we got all sorts of stuff coming at you.
No, we've got Manic movies. We've got Scooby Doo. We've got The Beekeeper with a guest. We've got Sir Billy, a Scottish, Irish animated film. We got Evan Almighty. And we've got Twilight.
Big month.
Big month.
Sexy month.
Very sexy, for sure. So, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Hopefully I'll get this out on time. But you won't hear this even if I don't get it out on time or if I do. So it doesn't matter. I'm rambling. Bye.
Wash your vegetables.
I'm so glad you told people that. I was afraid when I ended the call that I forgot that.
Sometimes they don't. They just eat dirt and worms and botulism.
Yeah.
I think they eat botulism as a snack. All right, I'll send you these.
Sap.
Right, meow.
Beautiful. Thanks for doing this all today. Thanks for sitting through all the
Thanks.
The schedules. I'm glad
Thank you.
coaching is done for you now.
Hell yeah.
And get healthy.
Now I'm gonna go be sick. Hopefully Seth's on tomorrow.
Yeah.
That'd be chilly.
Yeah. Be healthy, and we both have to message.
And wise.
We both have to message Seth to try and get him on because he doesn't listen to me anymore.
We'll harangue him. I got you.
Perfect.
All right. Later, Brand. You can go.
Later.